What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Wide Body Nation. It is getting pretty crazy out there in the car market right now. Interest rates keep going up. This is the last year of the Hemi, last year of the Hellcat, last year of the Scat Pack, at least as we know it. The exotic car market is coming down. The used car market is coming down, but the new car market is changing too. And it's just generally kind of crazy out there. I mean, even Facebook Marketplace has slowed down for me. I sold thousands of dollars of stuff on Facebook Marketplace last year, and whoo, it is dried up. So, with that being said, I have a monthly payment calculator here for you guys, and we're actually going to be moving this to destroyer1320.com because realwidebodynation.com is down for the time being. So it will be on your favorite website, destroyer1320.com, for you guys to at least use somewhat. I have to mess with the rights of this because some people go in here and jack it all up, and I don't want them to do that. So I have to kind of figure that out. We also have the Edmunds.com, reputable monthly payment calculator here. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is basically building on top of the most recent video from OC Motivator, where he talked about, huge markups and people backing out of orders and a bunch of other problems in the car market. I'm going to be building on that and kind of showing you guys the problem that he is highlighting, but I'm going to be showing it to you in the numbers. I'm going to use my car as an example, my 2022 Charger Hellcat jailbreak, just so you can kind of see how much interest rates and then how much banks are impacting as far as lending criteria and interest rates are kind of like squeezing the car market right now, because it's changing so much from 2021 and early 2022. Late 2022 we saw a big shift, and now it's even kind of crazier, muddier, and it's just kind of wild. So, quick plug, destroyer1320.com. Obviously, you guys have cars that are really easy to steal, and one of the main ways they steal them is by pulling up on that neutral strap. Honestly, it's one of the easiest ways to steal these cars. And do I wish Dodge didn't design the car this way? Yes. Do I wish that Mopars were not as easily stolen and as targeted as they are? Yes. Do I wish that I had known this 3 years ago? Also, yes. So, our product is like $30 after the discount code. We get it to you within about a week, and it comes with tamper-proof screws, and it comes with instructional videos. So it's like 32 bucks to protect your $50,000 to $100,000 car. We even have some customers that have demons that have these on them. So it's kind of a no-brainer, folks. And yes, we're working on other products. Yes, we're working on the Trackhawk and the Durango. We already have the Charger, Challenger 300C and TRX available currently. But these take time because we don't want to put the product out to you guys without it being as close to perfect as it can be for these cars that, honestly, the build quality of these cars is kind of sketchy. So there is some variability that we've seen as far as like fitment, because we have the same product every time, but then it's like, how are these holes different on two what are the same cars, or the 2 different years of the same car, right? So appreciate it. Destroyer1320.com, code WBN gets you 20% off. With that being said, I am using and this is my 2022 right here that we have the picture of. These pictures are from my car, and we're also going to be using this car, the deal I made on this car, to go ahead and show you guys how much my monthly payments are, and then how much your monthly payments can change just off a couple percent interest, or off the bank not even letting you finance the whole amount, how much you might have to cough up as a deposit or as a down payment, which is pretty significant. So one last quick thing. With us using 18 gauge steel, aka thicker steel, you cannot currently put the plastic piece that comes with your car back over this compartment right here. And that's because we're trying to go for security over complete OEM reinstallation. So we've had a couple people say, hey, my center console is like popped back in, but it has like a little bulge to it. But that's because they've had this piece reinstalled right here. And that's, you guys can see there's no air gap right here. And that's because that plate is basically taking the place of that. And it's just kind of a necessary thing currently. We're trying to manipulate the design a little bit so that we can go ahead, because that's like an OCD thing for some people, but you have a little rubber thing that goes over it. Anyway, so my MSRP was $96,661. My dealership down in Georgia, AutoNation Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram South Columbus. They were nice enough to give me $1,000 off, even though I didn't. Well, it was 500 military and then 500 for because I got the promotional financing. So I got $1,000 off, which is not, that's not power dollars anymore, but it is what it is. I did no trade in, and I did, so no trade in. And then normally Tennessee sales tax is 9.75% on cars, which I know that sounds crazy. It's like 10% of a car that's $100,000. I'm active duty military here at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So if as long as you're active duty stationed here, living in Kentucky or Tennessee, you actually qualify for no sales tax, which is a big gain for us. So I appreciate that, Tennessee lawmakers. Please keep that law in effect for as long as I'm in the military. Warranty products, I have them listed right here. I did a factory, vehicle protection plus key replacement. I did gap insurance, and I did windshield protection because my C8 windshield looks like crap, so I wanted to get a free windshield. So that's about $2,900 worth of products, and then tag and title with little fees was about $3,000. So I put that here, and then the doc fee for them is $699, which is pretty fair. Out the door price, amount finance is $99,360, and my monthly payment is right here. I'll bold it for you guys. It is $1,510 a month because I did 3% finance. Well, it was 2.99% promotional financing for 72 months, which right now is really good actually, because like your base interest rates for good credit are 5 to 6%, believe it or not. And I know a lot of people with perfect credit think that's crazy, but that is the reality currently. Just so you guys can see that this is the formulas are legit. $1,510 a month. Dogs are scratching at the door. We got the vehicle sales price. We got tax, title, registration. So I got the doc fee in here and my warranty products. My cash incentive, $1,000 off, and then I have 72 months, 3%, and for amount finance, $99,360, and an estimated car payment of $1,510 a month. Now, you guys can see that is my current situation. So I'll bold that again. Let's go ahead and get these one size bigger. Boom. Okay. So, don't really know how to zoom in exactly here. See, no, I don't want to mess it up for the video. So, here we go, up top. Can I get a 120? Okay. So, remember, we're financing about $100,000 here because I put zero down, right? Now, obviously at 0%, you're paying zero interest. So that's this interest paid area is if you took the loan through the entire term, 24 months, 36 months, 60, 72. If you paid it out through the whole thing, and you just made the minimum payment, which is the payments that are displayed here, this is the corresponding amount of interest you're going to pay over the life of the loan. So let's say you financed $100,000, 84 months, 13% interest. Over that 84 months total, you would have paid $52,000 worth of interest. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just I have it all fleshed out, and I made these extra 9 to 13% because let's face it, the market has gotten a lot worse. So yeah. With that being said, the thing that OC Motivator talked about, he said the interest rates are going up, right? So let's say you guys put the deposit down on a car, and we'll talk about deposits in a second. Let's say you guys put the deposit down on a car a couple months ago, back when you thought you could get a 2 or 3% promotional financing deal. Well, if that deal goes away, or if your credit gets worse or something, if you're paying 6, 7, 8, 9% for 72 months instead of 2 or 3, you're going from a $1,500 a month car payment to a $1,700 to $1,800 a month car payment. So that's an extra $300 a month just because interest rates just went up by a few percent. So that's one big problem that people are going to be running to, is that they're planning, let's say they're planning, even if you're on a scat pack, if you're planning for a $700 or $800 a month car payment, if interest rates go up or your credit goes down or banks just get tighter, then you might be 100 or $200 up on the monthly payment just between when you order the car, when you reserve the car for like a 2023 model. So that's one problem. Another problem is that most banks, if you have good to great credit, banks will let you finance 100% of the car, or even a little more, because a lot of times they realize that some people, especially if they have really good credit, just don't want to shell out cash for a car. They'd rather just roll it into the monthly payments. So the dog is. What's up, Sully? Come here. You want to say hi to people, or you just want to lay on the bed? Okay. Hey, buddy. All right, so we're going to pet Sully while I keep explaining it to you. Sully's our little 6-month golden retriever. So, hey, bud. So as far as, it's called loan to value. Banks, if you have good credit, banks will usually loan you 100% of the car's value. Whereas if you have not so good credit, the bank's more worried that you're not going to pay the car back, and they're going to have to repo the car, and et cetera, et cetera. So maybe that's why they require down payments. Sully, calm down. They gotta listen about the monthly payments, bud. So if you have worse credit, they're not gonna let you have as high of a loan to value. Basically, they're gonna want you to put a 10, a 20, a $30,000 monthly payment down. Oh my goodness, Sully, come on, up. Sully wants to say hi. Yeah, what's up, bud? You want to learn about monthly payments? All right, we'll get back to you guys. I don't edit these videos, so we're just taking a quick dog break, okay? Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Here, you want this thing? Is this a treat? Yeah, okay, that's what you get. We're going to give him a treat so he lets us finish the video. But I promise it's worth waiting, because you guys are going to see why 2023 is going to be such a catastrophe. There you go, bud. Got him up. Sick, okay? Go chew it out there. All right. Appreciate the intermission. Call it a commercial break, even though we already did a commercial. So if people were planning on reserving these cars, ordering these cars, whatever it may be, not only, and we haven't even talked about markups yet, but banks do not want to lend subpar credit. They're not going to lend you 100% of the car's value. So like if your car that you were trying to get is $100,000, they're not going to give you a loan for $120,000 if you're trying to roll in the taxes or a warranty or a markup. Like if a bank thinks that you're just rolling in a markup because they think that you're going to just finance it, a lot of banks are starting to get really opposed to this because they realize that the car values are starting to drop off as far as used car values. I mean, back when I did Turo, I had some crazy car deals, and I rolled some negative equity into like a Corvette one time, and a bank financed like 120% of the car's value because it was at 0%, and yeah, it was just the lending requirements in 2020 were banana land. Like they just did not care. Now it's the opposite. Even now, like I know people who have walked into dealerships with like 800, 810 credit scores, and they'll say, hey, bank's going to finance you at 5% because there's no promotional financing or something like that, and you got to put 10% down. And these are people who like think that they run the world with their 810 credit score, and the dealerships are like, hey, I'm sorry, like either you get a finance with your own bank, but our banks are telling you, hey, this is the best we got. So that is something to consider. Like, just look on this monthly payment calculator and see that if you add a markup, it's going to jack your monthly payment up. If you haven't factored in taxes, it's going to jack your monthly payment up. If you haven't factored in insurance rates are liable to go up because people might be crashing or lighting their cars on fire, or Lord knows what people are going to do to their cars during a recession. All right, as far as, so we kind of covered loan to value, and you're going to see banks, you're going to see dealerships requiring down payments and not letting you finance everything, the entire value of the car. You're also going to see people who put deposits down. You're going to see them backing out of deals because of everything we just talked about. So if you are like hot under the collar right now and you think you need to go out and buy whatever that exclusive car is, or put down a non-refundable deposit that's more than like $1,000, I would caution you, and say at least don't put a non-refundable deposit down. I know a lot of people that have gotten burned on non-refundable deposits, including me. Like I put a non-refundable deposit down 5 6 months ago on one of the new manual Supras, like the A91 manual edition that was all like special. I put the deposit down. The market was still pretty hot. It was $1,000 non-refundable, which is about the threshold for me for deposits. Obviously, I would have loved that to be lower, but by the time the car got there, I just did not see the value in it. Like I said, I don't pay I don't pay sales tax necessarily because of the military aspect of it here in Tennessee. Um, but by the time I had agreed to the numbers for that $1,000, the numbers just weren't there for me because I wanted that margin so I could turn around and have the option to sell it and not be underwater. So instead of basically agreeing to a car deal where I would be risking being underwater by $5,000-$10,000, I just walked away, cut my losses, said, "Hey, $1,000. I guess it's a lesson learned, right?" So you're gonna have that, but probably way worse on a lot of these Mopars because everyone, when they released, the horsepower locator, everyone freaked out and was like, "Oh my god, I need to get, I need to put this deposit down." They might not even listen to the dealership whether it was refundable or not. So you're gonna have people that are willingly backing out of orders because they see the economics are just not there. Because maybe that deposit was actually the markup. Maybe people put down $10,000 and that was the deposit, but also the markup, and then they still have to pay full price and taxes and warranty and insurance. Sully's whining again, but we'll finish this thing up. Long story short, I agree with OC Motivator. You're going to see a good amount of cars, especially 2023s, for sale well into 2023. Now, whether or not that's the exact spec you want at your local dealership, I cannot guarantee that. I can guarantee you that you'll get a better deal if you're willing to drive 200 to 500 miles away, especially out of cities. I can guarantee that you should at least check your current bank and maybe even open an account with a credit union so that you have like maybe a major bank, a credit union, and the dealer can run financing for you because I'm telling you, your socks are gonna get knocked off when you try to get finance for these cars. I promise you. Even if you have an 800 credit score, I promise you. Months ago, when I got the Hellcat, an 800 credit score qualified me for like 5 point something percent financing from my bank that I use all the time. From both credit unions I have, it's Navy Fed and Penn Fed, depending on Federal Credit Union. Both of those banks I've used plenty of times before. I'm usually in like the twos, maybe the 3% range. I was up to 5 something. And then luckily the dealership convinced me. They're like, "Oh, 5 something?" Like, yeah, that's basically what the market rate is right now, even for great credit score. They're like, "Hey, we got this promotional rate going. You got a lot of cars on your credit, but like, let's run it. Let's see if we can make this thing, if it fits, it ships." Luckily, we got qualified. Boom, 2.99% saved me a lot because the difference between 3% and 5%, that's $100 a month over the life of the loan. That is $3,000 to $7,000 a month. So if you guys want access to this, I'm trying to get Destroyer 1320 to post this on his website, destroyer1320.com. While you guys are there, if you or your friends, families, cars are not protected, use our code, WBN. That gets you 20% off. Like, you're gonna feel a little bit bad if your friend's car gets stolen like this, because I know a lot of you guys are in car clubs, car meets, stuff like that, and it's almost harder when your buddy's car gets stolen because then you have to like listen to the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and what car should I get next and all that. So if you already have one, I recommend that you get one for a friend, and they can thank you later for it. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if you guys like these monthly payment calculator videos. I can do one on hypothetical deals, I guess, if you want. We can kind of go plug and chug around, and I can kind of show you guys how to save money, which is what I kind of used to do. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys for the next video.